Welcome back to the latest episode of the Everything Paddle podcast. I'm your host, Ewan, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Jake. How you doing?
Yeah, all good.
Been training hard, yeah?
Yep, training hard this week. Bit tired, but we had to get the fit in this podcast because you go away, don't you? And you go to Spain.
Going to Spain, yeah, having a little break, but still going to get a video out, still going to film.
Bit of paddle.
Yeah, I found a local club like 20 minutes. We're in the middle of nowhere, but we're like 20 minutes from here, obviously because paddle club everywhere. So I found a paddle club, got in contact with them. I said, can you just get me like your best players, your best coaches? Sent them the YouTube channel. Had to use Google Translate everything in Spanish. And yeah, he's arranged it for me. So I'll get to do a video out in Spain. I'm hoping like it's going to be like really, really good level.
Yeah.
Because like the match videos on the YouTube channel right now are just like
Doing
going
so
mental. Well. Yeah, like it's basically like if we can find a really high level game, and I'm seeing on the engagement graph, like whenever someone does a smash out, there's a massive spike. So everyone is just replaying that same bit. It's like the video I done with Ethan and Stan a few weeks ago. The reason why that video did so well is just because everyone wants to see Stan smash it out or Ethan run out and hit it back in. So now we're kind of just looking at how many matches can I film where there's going to be big smashes on court. So not necessarily even the best player, but someone with a massive smash.
Just makes it more interesting for the audience, doesn't it?
Do you know Charlie Gotka?
Yeah, I think I'm training with him tomorrow.
Yes. Is that the first time you get to train with him?
I think so, yes.
So I played with him yesterday and he's got huge smash. Like, you kick it out.
Nice.
So I literally said to him, like, oh, can you kick it out line? And he's like, yeah, and you just feed him and instantly it goes. Just like a really high level tennis player. So I filmed with him yesterday and we'll go video out like next week. So that's a good one. Good smashes and that.
Yeah, he wanted to get that for the content.
For sure. So you say you had a couple of weeks off?
Yeah, so I have not played any tournaments. Well, last week I did, but I'm going to have a couple of weeks off.
And usually you're literally every weekend you're doing some sort of tourney.
Yeah, like every weekend, either a FIP or an LTA, our national circuit one. So yeah, this weekend and next weekend I'm not doing a tournament, and my bank account is thanking me for it very much. Yeah. No, it's very expensive to compete.
This thing, I don't even think about this. It's like, it must be so much. It must cost you so much each week just to do these tournaments, accommodation, flights.
Yeah.
Like we say it like it's nothing. Oh, you're going to Sweden, you're going, like last pod, you're like going to America. Like, costs a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's really expensive. Like I've got some figures now, and I'll ask you a few questions on it.
Yeah, you can test my knowledge because...
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, let's just start off with the figure of how much do you think a year, roughly, it will be to compete. And this is kind of...
Is this for you?
This is kind of average across Premier Padel to kind of FIP, I think.
Okay.
So I'll give you kind of... Because I don't know my exact number of how much I spend. And I'm terrible at kind of like... measuring how much I spend.
You probably don't want to know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't, these FIPs, I also kind of like just want to enjoy them. Like I'm not going to this country to kind of save as much as possible and just play the paddle. Like if I'm going, like I was in Turkey, you know, I stayed at a 5-star all-inclusive hotel. Like it was unbelievable. So it was like almost not a holiday, but like when you lose the tournament, you have something to look forward to.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Or you win it. It's unbelievable if you win it. But
yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so let's see, how much do you think on average it would cost a year to compete at my level, I think, let's say.
Okay, so I'm thinking, because you're not having to pay for like equipment or anything, you're sponsored, so that's okay.
Yeah.
So it's, I'm presuming it's court fees plus accommodation, because you're not getting like flights paid for or anything, like your sponsorship at the moment.
No, so it's all kind of like you got, there'll be some players that will be getting, some players might get, accommodation paid for. They might have a hotel sponsor. They might have a airline sponsor.
Yeah.
So that cuts costs on that. Because I know one of the Finnish players, he has a hotel sponsor at the biggest airport in Finland.
Mm-hmm.
So basically that's where he flies from every time in Finland. So he has he stays there for like a night, or and then flies, so he doesn't have to get up early in the morning or whatever. He always just gets free accommodation before. So that stuff like that saves costs. But even like you wouldn't even think about that.
No.
Like if I had a flight at 6 a.m. from Heathrow, like I don't want to be grinding up and getting up at like
Yeah.
you know
No.
2 a.m.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're gonna have to stay a night.
So,
And, you know, so it's
yeah.
all stuff like that you don't think about.
Okay, I've got no idea. I'm gonna guess per year. I'm gonna say 17,000.
Okay, so yeah, I
I'm
mean,
going off like just over $1,000 a month.
yeah, I mean it's not a bad effort.
Okay.
I would say you're nowhere near. Do you,
I bet you're enjoying this now after the few weeks of me having the numbers in front of
yeah,
me.
it
testing
is
you.
fun. Well, like to put in perspective, if you go to, like there's one in Greece in 2 weeks' time, and you kind of the things you look at straight away is where the FIP is. So as in where in Greece is it, and where would you fly into? So how much flight costs are, and in Greece is around 200 to 400. And then you have to look at basically the travel to the airport to the club. So that can be honestly the fucker sometimes. Like getting a taxi.
The
that's
taxi,
like
of course.
50 minutes.
Yeah. That's like it could be like 100 quid, right?
Yeah, easily. You know,
My God, yeah.
I was in Italy with Sam Jones, Nikhil, and Sam McNeil, and we all went on the same flight, and we all stayed together in an Airbnb. And our taxi from Naples airport to our Airbnb was about an hour.
Yeah.
It cost us, because they had to go outside of Napoli and then come back.
Yeah, of course.
So it cost I think it cost like 180 euros.
Wow.
You know, and it was just like
that's the cost you don't take into account before. You don't think about that.
Exactly. And that's where like it's more than your flight.
Yeah.
You know, like literally more than your flight. And it's nuts. But stuff like that. So I've got here that it's kind of roughly around the range of 30 to 60 grand.
Okay.
And I think that will depend on, because, you know, I haven't played a FIP yet outside of Europe.
Yeah.
Or maybe played one or two. But mainly my FIPs are in Europe. So it costs massively.
Yeah.
But if these players are going to, you know, Egypt, Dubai, like stuff like that, Australia, like, your costs are, you know, you're looking at 17 grand for a week in Australia. Like, you know, it's, but obviously not. But it's that big cost. So I would say mine's probably on the lower end of 30,000. But yeah, it is around that. And stuff like you don't take into consideration is taking a coach with you. Like I wouldn't ever take a coach just because right now financially it just doesn't make sense.
That's the thing, yeah.
A team of like maybe a physio or your PT, like something like that. Obviously that's what Premier Padel players are doing.
Are you paying for any coaching at the moment, or how's the GB training work that you do?
So the GB training is all like covered. Yeah. So you never pay for a session. That's good. I do 1 week with Sandy, 1 day a week.
1 day a week, yeah.
With Sandy, and it's for 4 hours on a Tuesday, and all the GB team come and we do a group session. And that's good. The only problem is it's at National Tennis Centre. So that's my only complaint, is that you play with Dunlop balls at National Tennis Centre, the slowest courts in England. And then you go and play a FIP with ball paddle balls in the hottest country, and it's the fastest courts in the world.
That's so
LTA. Probably shouldn't be saying that, but
no, that is shit.
Yeah, it's stupid, but
because you're trying to create good players here, you're literally training for these FIPs, right?
Yeah, and these conditions. And the Euros is indoors with ball paddle balls in Madrid.
Doesn't that seem like such a basic thing as a coach, that you'd find like a club with the right balls, try and replicate the same conditions?
Yeah. The only problem is financially they get free courts at NTC. Yeah. They get free Dunlop balls, a fuckload of them. Yeah. Whereas they don't get.
Is it the Dunlop Eco ones?
No, they come out of a like a tin.
Yeah.
You know? Not a cardboard box. Yeah, that would have been terrible. But Yeah, so it's all like for them, it's just cutting costs so that they can spend it somewhere else. They say, but you know, I'm not heavily involved in that, and I don't think I'll ever will be. So I can't answer many questions that you're probably thinking right now. But yeah, that's so coaching, and then obviously we have Dan Troy.
He does that at a low price.
Decent price.
Yeah.
Do
that once a week.
Try and work out a deal with him and stuff. And then obviously, like you said, equipment. If you're not like sponsored, then that can be a fuckload of money as well.
It's like, the sponsorships that you really, really need those sponsorships.
Yeah, massively. Yeah, it helps massively. And then, like we say, like the travel, the flights, the hotels, the taxis, sometimes rental cars can add up to like 15 to 20 grand.
Someone actually asked me, he's just said earlier, and it links perfectly in this, Paul Banyard, he said, and he was referring to you because he asked too, he said, you get paid for these sponsorships, it's not just the free equipment, you get paid per month as well, right?
Yeah.
Or is it like for a specific tournament, or they just give you like a fee each month?
So this is the interesting thing about sponsors, and I'm not allowed to obviously discuss any of that, which is kind of, for many obvious reasons.
Yeah, of course,
But I'll give like an idea for everyone that basically some sponsors will be like, you might be getting $1,000 a month overall, but not actually in cash. You might be getting £300 worth of flights.
Yeah.
£300 worth of accommodation, £100 worth of entry fees.
Right, so they'll pay. They're not just giving you it so you can spend it on something else.
Exactly.
Like it's like if you've got a flight, then it's used. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. Yeah.
And like that's so then a lot of that will be kind of covered, obviously there now. So others will be in cash, where you just get literally a retainer at the end of the month paid to you. And that's kind of the route that I go down normally. And then also I was going to say something, but it's gone out of my mind. I
do have one question here written down. So if you got given 10 grand right now to invest, what would you use it for?
10 grand to invest in,
like, just in your career.
That's good.
Would it just go just on more tournaments each month, or would you go for a coach now, like bring a coach along to a tournament?
I would probably just go away to Spain.
Yeah, of course.
And just do some training.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Honestly, like 10 grand is nothing.
Yeah, I did think as I written that down. Now you've talking about all those figures.
Yeah,
that's gonna go in a week.
It's hard, isn't it? Because talking about most professional players, aren't professional. I'm on that pro level, but I coach. So technically, I'm like semi-professional. There's not really a thing in paddle yet, semi-professional. But most players coach. Like there's a guy called Bembo. I'm sure you've heard of the M3 Paddle Academy.
Yeah.
And he coaches there, and he then competes. So he coaches during the week, trains with the players sometimes, and then we'll play a FIP, kind of travel Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. And he's an unbelievable player, talented. And it's like, and he's with Oxdog now, and they've kind of helped him out, I believe, as well. So it's just funny how these kind of players are like, have so much talent, such good players, but they still have to earn a living. They can't just be a professional paddle player. So it's proper interesting with all that. But even food, entry fees. Yeah. Because it's not as
Tournament
easy.
Prices going up and up.
Yeah, it's filthy how much they charge for a tournament. Yeah. Absolutely filthy. FIPs are actually cheaper than LTAs.
Really?
You're playing
I would not have thought that at all.
Yeah. You pay £30.
Yeah.
It's normally €40, so 30, £35, whatever it is.
I swear every 2 months the LTA tournaments go up just £5.
Yeah.
Each time.
It's an absolute piss take. And the tournaments are fucking dreadful.
Yeah.
Absolute compared to, I'm comparing it to the FIP.
Yeah, because I remember you spoke on the pod before about a FIP and how like well run it was and all the stuff you
Oh.
could do there, and it was just like a proper tournament.
Yeah,
compared
it's
to
like
just
yeah. Obviously, it's very difficult to compare because the LTA no one wants to have a practice court and play on the courts before you play the tournament. But like FIP, like you basically have to practice on the courts because the conditions mean everything.
Yeah, of course.
Like it's such a big factor. Like when I played in the one in Whetstone with Theo, like knowing that the courts were rapid and the roof was massive just changed your whole training week, your game plan, your game style, like your tactics will change to whatever condition you're playing in. Like the NTC one, there was no point in practicing smashes that week because I'm not going to hit any. Because it's slowest court, slow balls. So it's almost like just practicing on those courts, and that becomes where the FIP allow you to do that. LTA would obviously never. And yeah, you can play as much as you want on those practice courts. You can almost play like 3 matches before you play a tournament.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. Yeah, so warm and ready.
Yeah, so you can it starts on the Monday and finish on the Sunday. So throughout the week, the courts are yours basically. Just book out the whole week.
Someone's asked me, this links into it, how do you get sponsored as a paddle player? So there's obviously, if you are really good, naturally you're going to get sponsors speaking to you.
Yeah, and mine's quite a fun story with Oxdog.
Go on.
And Tom is going to absolutely hate me for saying this because Tom is the distributor for Oxdog in the UK. And before I say he's a lovely guy and he's really good at his job and really super helpful, and I appreciate that. I played Tom in a tournament in the first round with Theo, and it was just one of those days where everything's going in that you hit, it just pulls off. We beat him like 1-2, 1-1, or something like that. And he was like, he said he felt like Tapia and Correa have just played against and stuff. And I got chatting to him after, and we got in contact and stuff, and it all kind of went from there. So it was a funny story of he kind of signed me because I beat him. Not like because
it's probably quite good that you played him then.
Yeah, I don't think this would have ever happened with Oxdog if it wasn't for that situation.
The other route you can go down, like for some players that maybe aren't professional, trying to be professional, is you can just create loads of content on social media and get sponsored that way.
It is,
You're seeing that a lot with like a lot of some of the female players, like we've seen Olivia and Raya and that have made those.
Yeah, Paddle with Holly's got
Paddle
a
with Holly.
Sponsorship.
So it's not necessarily, you don't have to be like, you obviously, that's one route, it's just be an amazing player, but you don't have, like, I reckon Paddle Dini will get sponsored soon.
Yeah, for sure. Everything Paddle should.
We actually should. The only sponsored player.
Yeah, and it kind of, there's different packages, different ambassadorships and stuff like that. But like you say, you'll get like a content one, you'll get lower ranked players getting kind of maybe 1 racket a year, a bag and a shoes. And then you'll kind of go up, and it will, that sponsorship deal will keep going up to, unlimited rackets, to unlimited clothes, whatever. And then you start to add in money to that. And then you kind of go on even further and further. So it's proper interesting. And that's my route. Obviously I started off as an Everything Paddle player. And you helped me out with the Adidas sponsorship.
Yeah.
And then I got a kind of full Adidas sponsorship where they started giving me
the stuff
full kit,
for free, was it as well?
Free kit, free rackets, free shoes, all of that. And then obviously went to Ball Paddle and R3, and it kind of excels from there, and it keeps going up. So the better you get, the more
for sure
benefits you get as well.
Yeah, nice one. Awesome. I've got some general questions that we can speak through that have been submitted on the Instagram that I thought we could go through. Number one, I've got who has the best kick smash in the UK?
Louis Harris. Yeah,
he was in my head as well.
Louis Harris is definitely.
So Louis is one of the best players in the UK.
Yeah, at the moment he's a joke. Yeah, he's very, very good. And talking about the conditions, they suit him very well.
Yeah.
Pretty much any FIP.
For sure.
Big smash, taking the net, come in and block. Like, that's what he's good at. Like, really good hands and just a massive smash. And for a big guy, he does move well.
How can you beat someone like Louis?
You don't. No. well, I've never beaten him. So
Tell me, like, what has to happen if you're playing against him? Like, imagine everything's going perfectly. What would you need to do to beat him, though?
well, I've never actually played him in a tournament.
Okay.
And like I've never played him in a FIP or an LTA, but when I play practice matches against him, you kind of avoid the lob, or you have to lob very low and fast into the middle.
Can't give him any height.
Yeah, he's also got a very good vibra, so it's kind of like, but most of the time, like when I played with that Tuesday training, me and Sam played against Tom, Farquharson and Louis, and they destroyed us, which is rightly so. They're very good players, and they kind of aerial threat is hard, and they've both got really good hands, so it's hard to beat them, and that's why obviously the tennis players are having so much joy at the moment. But I played with Louis against Tom Farquharson and Sam, and their way out was lobbing me.
Right.
So it was like very...
So to answer how to beat him is basically hits the other player.
Yeah. But it's like you don't have to... Because obviously when you get to the net, Louis at the back, like he reads the game very well, but he drop shots work well because he does... Maybe that I was wrong with saying he moves very well. He reads the game very well, so he doesn't have to move that well. So drop shots work, like volleys to the cage, volleys to the middle, getting moving. And he's still like a freak of nature, right? Like but maybe just play to the other person when you're at the net.
For sure. I've got, what are your honest thoughts on pickleball? And do you think it will become more popular than paddle?
No. Don't think it'll be more popular.
What are your thoughts on the game?
I really enjoy pickleball.
Yeah, it's good fun, isn't it?
So many people are going to say like stuff like that. I don't like it's stupid. But
you look at like on social media the reputation of pickleball. It's not great. Like most pickleball videos I watch, the comments are typically hate. But I don't see that as much on paddle.
These are just like the keyboard warriors. There, you are right. You don't see that on paddle.
Well, I think this thing. If you watch the pro level, I think the main thing I'd say about pickleball is you watch the pro game of paddle versus pro game of pickleball. Paddle, you're going to be like, if you haven't played either of them, you're going to be more amazed watching paddle when you watch them. Run out of the court, etc.
No. Paddle is superior on so many different like levels, right? But for example, my mum plays pickleball and she loves it. She does like a mixing thing at our old secondary school in the sports hall, and I get invited sometimes when they're short of players, and it is fun. Like I'm playing with bunnies, but they're like it is so much fun. Like because it's just like any sport you just love, don't you? Like if you're actually like not an athlete, but you love sport.
Yeah, you're gonna
love. Yeah, you're gonna love pickleball. You're gonna love squash. Like
I don't think it will become more popular than paddle.
Oh, nowhere near.
It just can't.
Just America's just they have to do their own thing, don't they?
Yeah. Okay, I've got. What do you think of the Playtomic rating system? So I was actually coaching someone the other day who's moaning about it. Like a lot of people do moan about it. I don't think it's too bad, but the main sort of argument I heard against it the other day was that he was complaining there was 4 guys that are not good that just play against each other, competitive match every day. So their level's gone up to like 4.5 or 5 or whatever, and they're not that level at all.
Yeah, no, it's kind of getting that balance of kind of. I think we are getting there. Like seeing at Ilford, funny enough, we're moving away from Playtomic now,
really,
and going to Paddle Mates. But annoyingly, I think we were just kind of at that point where it's all kind of evened out.
Everyone was the right level.
Yeah, roughly. Kind of. There might be a few people that's kind of over or under what they are, but like those guys playing in that 4, they're going to play in that 4 and get their level up, but as soon as they play other players, their level is going to actually kind of come realistic. So it doesn't matter too much if they're doing that, because it will come down. But I can understand their frustration. But I think we need something like that in the UK. Like the LTA should do it. Like tennis, I don't actually know what it means, but if you go on the LTA website, obviously, and I scan past it, they have like the UTR or something like that, and it's like a number, and I have one, like your world tennis number. No idea.
Oh. Yeah, I've seen that before. I don't know. I've never like.
Some tennis players will tell us exactly what it means, but I'm pretty sure the lower the better.
Right, I see. Okay, I've got one more question. Do paddle rackets actually make a huge difference? We probably should do a bit of a longer segment on it.
Yeah,
I've
and
got
I think
a
maybe
little bit of an answer. The main thing is it only makes a difference if you are at a good level. If a completely new player to the sport comes in and tests out like a £50 and a £300 one, they're probably not going to notice a difference. The £50 one will probably be easier to use, but in terms of like hitting the ball as hard as they can, they're not going to notice much. But at your level, for example, when you're playing a tournament, like if you picked up like a £50 paddle racket or even like an 80, just a fiberglass one, you're just not going to get anywhere near as much power compared to like a much stronger racket.
Yeah, there's so many different technologies, and this is where like it's gonna sound like I'm promoting Oxdog here, but Oxdog trying out those rackets have got so many different technologies on all of their ranges.
Yeah.
So and they're kind of escaping that beginner, intermediate, advanced kind of, you know, model, and escaping like men's and women's rackets. They're just giving you a load of rackets with this technology works for this racket, and it's kind of you kind of pick the one that suits you, and that's why I use an intermediate racket because I really like the feel on my hand and the mid balance.
That's the most important thing though. Like it's your own like comfort and your own feel. Like, this is where like so many customers come to me like, and they're just after like the best possible model, which is fine. I'm happy to sell you the best possible model.
Well, this is what Tom was saying to me. Because like me being honest, I get commission on sales.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm just gonna try and sell the best.
Yeah.
The most expensive. And he was like, no, we don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
We want you to sell the racket that suits them the most.
Of course.
And that's kind of because our idea is we grow with the customer, we grow with the player. Like when they get a kind of an intermediate racket,
then they're going to go for an advanced one. Exactly.
And they like the racket. So that's
if you sell them the best one, they might use it, might not work out for them. They're not going to come back and go somewhere else and then get a lower one with a new brand and then
build up with them. Yeah.
So exactly.
Yeah. And it's interesting because he was very adamant on making sure that like you're not selling an advanced racket to a lower intermediate player. Like it's these technologies work for how you play the game right now. So use this racket until you start to learn more different things. You start to need that more power. You need that more maneuverability and stuff. Like you don't need it right now. You need to focus on the basics. And it's like, then when you get that, you can start to upgrade to those, you know, those higher end rackets.
I would say like my advice for you choosing is if you're like beginner to early intermediate, choose the racket choose more just like a general control based one, because you're going to need to learn that, especially if you come from like maybe a tennis background, you're smashing every single ball, like choose something with a bit more control. But as soon as you reach late intermediate to advanced, then choose something that plays to your own strengths or just feels really comfortable for you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree to that. Totally agree.
Awesome. Let's do the clips. I've got some.
These two.
Yeah. So watch this one first. This is from a guy in South Africa. Let me see what his name was.
Import. There we go. No? Yeah.
He just said from South Africa. His name's Yakub.
This guy?
I don't know who it is actually.
This looks like South Africa.
I know whatever happens.
Lots of greenery. Ready?
The cool shot he does. Yeah, play it. The cool shot he does is the one that is the guy that sent it, basically.
It's a very relaxed serve.
You know what's coming.
Little Dawn Malona.
Unreal from him.
It's just copying Palladino, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's inspired by Palladino.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. He's read it well.
Palladino's having a week off as well. He's a humble guy. He didn't want to send in clips every single pod. Like he wants to let other people shine. That's what I like about him.
Yeah, he's
not taking the glory. But this is unreal. Well read, well watched.
Yeah.
Love the celebration as well. Nonchalant.
Very nonchalant.
This is a good one.
It's in True Paddle.
Yep. Let me just see who sent me this.
I think I know this.
Yeah, I think you do.
Andrew Thorpe, I feel like.
Jamie Elliott. Yeah, it's this guy here.
Jamie Elliott.
Yeah.
Don't think I've heard of a Jamie Elliott. He's got his name on the back of his shirt though.
Yeah,
Tennis
started competing. Good block. Little spin.
Oh,
he's done well there.
hit it.
He's done well there, and he actually messaged me saying, so you can give him a little
So
bit.
the guy that hit the drop shot, I know him.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. So he said, what do you think I should have done? Did I do the right thing on the sidewall? And also, should I have pushed the net quicker afterwards? So do you want to watch it one more time with that in mind?
Yeah, I'll take a coach's mind and what I would have done.
You can see he reads that well. Yeah, I think he does well to do sidewall there.
He should be sprinting in there.
Yeah, and then he should be in now.
Well, the main bit of advice here, is a little bit of surviving, and he's done well to survive, and he's probably not expecting that sidewall both to go in, so that's fine. But the main thing I would say for him is this return. When you get pushed left, to try and avoid playing fast to this medium height zone onto the forehand volley ultimately, and then he also watches it. He's watching
for sure.
rather than just regaining his position.
And that's why he's a bit late on that second ball.
Yeah, so and he ended up winning the point through surviving.
Now
but
in.
He shouldn't have won that point, really.
Yeah.
But he could have structured that point a bit more. But
good sidewall boasts.
Yeah, he's going to be a very good player, clearly.
Yeah, you can tell. He looks athletic.
Yeah. And the guy on the left is a good player. So if he's getting in matches with him, then he's
going to improve fast.
Yeah. So
thanks, Jamie, for that. Appreciate that. And thanks, Yakub, as well. Thanks so much for watching this episode of the Everything Paddle podcast. If you're listening as well, thanks a lot. Make sure to send any more questions or clips through to us, and we can react to them on the next episode. Make sure to subscribe as well, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you very much, guys.